Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with the executives of two public companies. First up is bioAffinity Technologies, addressing the urgent need for non-invasive, accurate, early-stage cancer diagnosis and broad-spectrum cancer treatments. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths. The company's first product, CyPath Lung, improves early-stage detection of lung cancer, leading to increased survival, fewer unnecessary invasive procedures, reduced patient anxiety, and lower medical costs. CyPath Lung, a laboratory-developed test, is patient-friendly and physician-focused. Physicians order CyPath Lung for their patients after lung cancer screening or other imaging reveals a suspicious finding. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Enlivex Therapeutics Limited. Enlivex is a clinical-stage macrophage reprogramming immunotherapy company developing Allocetra, a universal off-the-shelf cell therapy designed to reprogram macrophages, which are primary immune cells, into their homeostatic state. Diseases such as osteoarthritis, sepsis, and many others reprogram macrophages out of their homeostatic state. These non-homeostatic macrophages contribute significantly to the severity of the respective diseases. By restoring macrophage homeostasis, Allocetra has the potential to provide a novel immunotherapeutic mechanism of action and resolution for conditions which are life-threatening and debilitating unmet medical needs. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we dive into our first interview, let's take a moment to recognize some of RedChip's top performers in 2024. Among them, RCAT, up an incredible 1,293% in 2024. Alliance Entertainment, soaring by 842%. Gorilla Technology, which gained 250%. And Nova Minerals, up 149%. These companies have demonstrated the immense potential of the small cap market. Looking ahead to 2025, RedChip has also unveiled its top 25 small cap stocks to watch. This curated list includes names such as Venue Holding, VENU on the New York Stock Exchange American, Trinity Biotech, TRIB on the NASDAQ, and Nutraband, also on the NASDAQ, trading under the ticker NTRB. To learn more about why these and other exciting small-cap stocks made it onto our 2025 list, visit redchip.com and download the full report. Now, let's move on to our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. Work hard, be a long-term thinker, develop tenacity, and remember, nothing happens without taking calculated risks. This quote comes from Phil Sassower of Phoenix Group, and it is featured in Chapter 9 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18.
For 32 years, RedChip has been discovering tomorrow's blue chips today with early research on Starbucks, Celsius, Daktronics, Winnebago, and more. Now we bring you RedChat, an innovative AI solution that can give you answers in seconds on over 2,000 small cap stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Visit redchip.com today and use RedChat, your AI small cap assistant.
Now, let's get started with our first interview today with bioAffinity Technologies. Hello, today we have Maria Zanes, President and CEO of bioAffinity. bioAffinity Technologies trades on the NASDAQ under the ticker BIAF. Maria, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Same here, Maria. Lung cancer is a leading cause of cancer-related deaths worldwide. How does your flagship product, CyPath Lung, address the challenges of early detection, and what makes it a game changer?
Well, it's a very good question. Lung cancer, as you said, is the leading cause of cancer deaths worldwide, and particularly in the United States, because it's caught, unfortunately, at late stage. And what CyPath Lung does, our test, is to detect at an earlier stage when you can have better treatment. Groundbreaking nature of it is twofold. One, it's a non-invasive test. So it's a test that people can collect their sample at home and then ship to the lab. And then it is also uses AI. So it's a very standardized test that's able to look at whether someone has a malignancy in the lung or does not.
Now, CyPath Lung was initially piloted in Texas. It's now expanding, Maria. Elaborate, please, on that expansion strategy, especially what can we expect in the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, you're right. We started in Texas. We decided to see in our own backyard how well we do. We did extremely well. Of course, Texas is a big backyard. So we were very pleased to see the adoption and the test and how well month after month, we were able to increase sales and adoption of the test. We recently were awarded listing on the federal supply schedule, which allows us to sell to more than 1,300 different healthcare facilities for the U.S. military and the Veterans Administration. So I think you will see us expanding into that national market and then into strategic markets as well next year.
Speaking of government, Maria, the Department of Defense has already purchased CyPath Lung for observational studies. What potential opportunities would this partnership open up?
We see continued expansion of our work with the Department of Defense, including the Veterans Administration and the military hospitals. Not only for research, as you mentioned, we do have a pivotal trial coming up next year for CyPath Lung, going after a larger trial of 2,000 or more patients. Our national principal investigator will be Dr. Michael Morris of pulmonology at Brooke Army Medical Hospital, which is the largest military hospital in the nation. So we look at expansion, both from a research standpoint to look at moving CyPath Lung into more screening modality. And we also look at them as partners as we move forward for CyPath Lung as a test, as it is now, used for people who have pulmonary nodules and moving forward.
Turning now to the leadership of your great company, Maria, and I just wanted to point out your company has 35% insider ownership, a very good number, indicating strong belief by the leaders in the future of your company. Introduce us to the whole team.
We have a very strong team of not only experienced individuals, but those who have taken to market tests like CyPath Lung. Our chairman of the board, Steve Durgenti, was the founder and developer and indeed the head of what became Ogilvy Health, which was the largest health marketing company in the world. And so Steve is very much involved, but our other board members are equally experienced. Our finance chair, for example, Stuart Diamond, is the CFO of Group M, which is a $50 billion company. So we have strong financial leadership. Talking about financial leadership, we have our CFO, Mike Edwards, just joined us. He had been very much involved with the company through its IPO. So I'm very happy to have Mike Edwards back, who has a strong background with public companies. And of course, we have a strong science team headed now by Bill Bauta, who comes out of Ilex, Genzyme, J&J, very much focused on bringing new tests to market. And while we're on the topic, we have a great science team that is looking at additional tests. So it will not be just CyPath Lung we bring to market. We're looking at tests for COPD, for example, which is equally large as lung cancer as a pulmonary disease needing help in early diagnosis.
All right, Maria, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Give us the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in bioAffinity right now?
First and foremost, we have an excellent management team, we have an excellent science team, we have a very strong clinical team here at Precision Pathology, which is our subsidiary and laboratory. But I also believe we have a very strong future. You've seen continued and significant growth over this year with CyPath Lung, and also with the overall lab, the consolidated company itself we're projecting to meet our very strong forecast for this year. And I think in addition to the strong team, the strong management, the strong, bright future, we also are bringing new things to market. So this is an innovative team that is not going to stand still. It's going to keep moving.
Maria, it's a great story, very inspiring. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you very much. I very much enjoyed it.
Now, to get more information on bioAffinity technologies, visit biafinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies just like bioAffinity Technologies. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that.
For 32 years, RedChip has been discovering tomorrow's blue chips today with early research on Starbucks, Celsius, Daktronics, Winnebago, and more. Now we bring you RedChat, an innovative AI solution that can give you answers in seconds on over 2,000 small-cap stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Visit redchip.com today and use RedChat, your AI small-cap assistant.
Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Enlivex Therapeutics. Hello, today we have with us Oren Hershkovitz, the CEO of Enlivex Therapeutics, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker ENLV. Oren, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Always great to be back.
Could you introduce Enlivex to our viewers and explain how your innovative allocetra therapy addresses the pressing challenges of macrophage dysregulation in diseases such as osteoarthritis and sepsis?
Sure. So Enlivex is a next generation cell therapy. We have a very novel platform that target unique cells. It's a completely new modality. Those cells are called macrophages. Macrophages are critical cells in housekeeping and in response to inflammation and so on. However, in some inflammatory diseases, they become part of the problem. And in those cases, they are the cells you need to target. What we know to do at Enlivex is really to modulate, to reprogram those cells and make them cells that promote resolution. And this is really a very, very unique approach. And it's relevant for many different indications, as you mentioned, sepsis, osteoarthritis, other arthritis indications, and so on. The beauty about this is it's an off-the-shelf cell therapy, so very, very cost-effective. It's actually very simple technology. That's the beauty of it. And it could address really different unmet medical conditions.
Of course, Oren, there already are treatments for inflammatory and immune disorders. What makes allocetra a standout solution in the field of immunotherapy?
Well, that's true, and that's very no, it's very supportive to the overall concept. However, most of the companies are addressing different cells and different approaches. Really, no one is taking the approach of holistic modulation of macrophages and to take them from a pro-inflammatory cells to lead them to become a pro-resolution cells, and by that to treat the core of the inflammatory disease, the pathophysiology of that disease. So in that perspective, really Enlivex stands out as a different approach to treat inflammatory indications. And we are targeting many different indications where we know that macrophages play a pivotal role in the development of the disease and in the chronic state of the disease.
Oren, you recently announced positive interim efficacy data in patients with moderate to severe knee osteoarthritis. Tell us a little bit about that trial.
Yeah, that's we're very excited about that. So as you mentioned, this was an interim data from a phase 1/2 study. It's actually a randomized, blinded, controlled study, but has a phase 1 open label arm where we treated 12 patients. We published data from the first 12 patients that we treated. We gave them our Cetra injection into the knee, and those patients has knee osteoarthritis. Maybe a word about osteoarthritis first. Osteoarthritis, it's really a huge unmet medical condition. We know that it's about 30 and above million adults in the US suffering from osteoarthritis, and there's no good treatment for that. So um, we have several programs in osteoarthritis. This is the leading one. The first 12 patients that we treated, we gave them a single injection, 3 injections into the knee that is affected by the disease. And we monitor them mainly for safety, but also monitor them for efficacy. And efficacy means pain, how much pain they report their pain assessment, subjective pain assessment. So how much pain do they have? And on a scale from 10, from 0, which is completely healthy, to 10, which means really unbearable pain, the average starting baseline of the study was about 6 and above, and they dropped in their pain report by 3 months by 50%, and that's remarkable. Their functionality was increased by more than 40%, and actually most of the patients were responding to the treatment. So this is very exciting, and most importantly leads to the phase 2 part of the study now, which is a randomized control part, and we're looking for the data outcomes second part of 2025.
Oren, I personally hope you get a lot of progress done on knee osteoarthritis because I've got a touch of it myself. Tell us, how big are the market opportunities for Allocetra?
Well, all the markets that you are targeting are really multi-billion markets, and all of them share the feature of being an unmet medical condition, means that they don't have an FDA-approved drugs, and really nothing that treat the core of the disease. In osteoarthritis, patients are taking pain reliefs or steroids, which is very limited because of the adverse events. So there's nothing really effective. Markets are huge. Markets are really huge, and all of them share the fact that also macrophages plays a critical role in that pathophysiology of those diseases. So all of this contributes to the fact that we're very optimistic about what's going to happen in those different studies that we're currently running.
Enlivex has a very strong cash reserve. How long of a runway does this give your current development programs?
So the current conservative estimation is until the end of 2026, which means we have a cash runway to execute all the different clinical studies that are on our pipeline. Some of them were discussed here. Several catalysts during 2025 on the different programs. All of them are well funded. We have actually plain vanilla capital structure, no debt, nothing like that. And therefore, we are focusing now on executing our plans.
In summary, Oren, give us the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in Enlivex today?
Okay, so I think the first thing that we didn't talk about is management experience. There's a seasoned management in Enlivex that already were involved also collaboratively in drug development and you know, taking drugs from preclinical to approval, both from the business side, you know, exit with the previous companies and so on. So really seasoned management, that's the first most important thing. The second thing is the technology. It's really stand out as a new modality that we developed that is a platform that could target many different diseases and indication. All of the markets that all the indications we're currently targeting are really huge markets with with unmet medical conditions. There's already lots of safety data and initial efficacy data for the platform. And many catalysts. And again, as we said, you know, our cash position is in a state that we can cover all these activities. So really exciting value proposition.
Oren, great story. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, to get more information on Enlivex Therapeutics, visit enlvinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Enlivex Therapeutics. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met bioAffinity Technologies, BIAF on the NASDAQ. bioAffinity Technologies addresses the urgent need for non-invasive, accurate, early-stage cancer diagnosis and broad-spectrum cancer treatments. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths. The company's first product, CyPath Lung, improves early-stage detection of lung cancer, leading to increased survival, fewer unnecessary invasive procedures, reduced patient anxiety, and lower medical costs. CyPath Lung, a laboratory-developed test, is patient-friendly and physician-focused. Physicians order CyPath Lung for their patients after lung cancer screening or other imaging reveals a suspicious finding. Learn more at www.bioafinfo.com. Then you met Enlivex Therapeutics Limited, ENLV, on the NASDAQ. Enlivex is a clinical stage macrophage reprogramming immunotherapy company developing Allocetra, a universal off-the-shelf cell therapy designed to reprogram macrophages, which are primary immune cells, into their homeostatic state. Diseases such as osteoarthritis, sepsis, and many others reprogram macrophages out of their homeostatic state. These non-homeostatic macrophages contribute significantly to the severity of the respective diseases. By restoring macrophage homeostasis, Allocetra has the potential to provide a novel immunotherapeutic mechanism of action and resolution for conditions which are life-threatening and debilitating unmet medical needs. Learn more at www.enlvinfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It's the biggest small cap stock portal in the industry. Every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market capitalizations of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-REDCHIP or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies. So please, always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.
Question: why would the former head of business development at Merck become vice chairman of Enlivex, a company currently valued at $30 million? Like him, you should meet Enlivex, symbol ENLV on the NASDAQ. Enlivex is a clinical stage company using a novel cell immunotherapy platform to treat sepsis and osteoarthritis and other inflammatory diseases, both billion-dollar market opportunities that could revolutionize the way we treat these diseases. Enlivex, stock symbol ENLV.
For 32 years, RedChip has been discovering tomorrow's blue chips today with early research on Starbucks, Celsius, Daktronics, Winnebago, and more. Now we bring you RedChat, an innovative AI solution that can give you answers in seconds on over 2,000 small cap stocks listed on the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Visit redchip.com today and use RedChat, your AI small cap assistant.